Hi, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Jen Tabbert. I am the Director of Software Sales here at Dematic in the Americas. I thank you all for joining us today as we explore how our warehouse management system can optimize your operations. And utilizing technology to the fullest is crucial for any modern company to succeed. And Boohoo has certainly become a leader in online fashion, and they've become known for their innovative approach and their dedication to customer satisfaction. I'm joined today by Bashir Sharma, our Senior Director of Global Commercial Software at Dematic, and Kieran Rimmer, the Technology Director of Boohoo. With more than 2 decades of experience in the apparel industry, Kieran has become a significant contributor to Boohoo's technology strategy, specializing in e-commerce, warehousing, and data analytics. So welcome, Bash. Welcome, Kieran. We're so happy to have you guys here this morning.
Thanks for inviting me along. Thanks for inviting me along.
So today we're really going to be exploring the role that technology has played in helping Boohoo establish themselves as a global brand. And we're going to dive into the critical aspects of selecting and implementing a warehouse management system, or WMS, to help optimize operations. So we really encourage your active participation. Please add your questions or share your insights in the chat, and we're looking forward to talking with you. Okay, so Kieran, my first question is, being part of an ever-evolving fashion industry, how have you observed the dynamics of supply chain management change over the last decade?
So I think the rise of e-com, customer expectation for faster delivery, volumes of orders businesses can now receive 24/7 has led to many retailers need to optimize the supply chain. The COVID pandemic being one, exposing vulnerabilities in supply chain itself, and businesses have had to adapt and become more resilient to that. So as a result, large-scale businesses more often than not are turning more and more to warehouse automation to fulfill their customer orders quickly and efficiently, and to grow and scale their business further.
I'll take a slightly longer term view and give you guys an understanding of how technology has changed and why. So in the 90s, a significant proportion of fashion retailers were retailing via catalog companies. And that was done via phone or by card, post, letterboxed, and then you would get fulfilled with the relevant order over multi-days, usually a week or 2 weeks to fulfill that given order. That was happening, remote type of ordering was happening in the 90s across the globe, primarily in Europe and Americas. And then came the internet around about late 90s, early 90s, and that created a different type of retailer, what we now term an e-tailer. And you got your general merchandise retailers, DIY retailers, and fashion retailers coming through in the noughties. And the fashion retailers then took it a bit further in terms of what the demands were of the customer and what the challenges were in terms of delivering for those customers. And that meant that they needed to have next day delivery, same day delivery, returns management. All of those assets came into being, and in order to fulfill that type of demand, automation came to the fore. So you had the warehouse management solutions which fulfilled those orders, but then the rise of orders coming through the system meant that you needed not just people, but you needed automation. And both together, you needed a sophisticated warehouse management solution plus automation to deliver that. So over the last decade, that's what you've seen, a significant rise in demand from customers. And that meant an increase in automation, and then significant rise in returns as well. And all of those factors has meant that you needed a solution which was highly flexible, both in terms of software and also automation, and the demands of the customer was key. So those were the factors coming into the current regime we're in now.
That's great. So considering those industry evolutions that you both just spoke about, Kieran, can you share how Boohoo has adapted your supply chain strategies?
Yeah, sure. We've grown from one warehouse to 4 over the past 5 years, just due to the the growth of the business and demand. Three of our sites operate in the UK, and one which we opened in the summer this year in the US. So our two largest sites in the UK, which are in Birmingham and Sheffield, they both started out as manual operations and then evolved over the years to become heavily automated to cope with the volumes of stock and orders flowing in and out daily. Our other two sites, which are Daventry in the UK and Pennsylvania in the US, have started out using our tried and tested model of being a manual operation to start with a view to automating as and when the volumes dictate. With so many automation equipment suppliers now on the market, you need a tech solution that's flexible enough to evolve and scale as and when appropriate. And to me, having the right warehouse management system in place is key to ensure you're not limited or restricted when it comes to selecting automation partners and suppliers in the future.
So understanding that significance of the software that it plays in your, kind of supply chain management approach, how did you approach the selection of your warehouse management system, and what were some of the crucial considerations that you guys took into account?
So I can quickly cover off probably our two most recent sites, because that's based on the time I've been at Boohoo. So it's covering off our Daventry and our US manual sites at the moment. I can talk about our automation in Birmingham and Sheffield. Obviously done a lot of work on those, but for our two most recent sites, Daventry and Pennsylvania in the US, we wanted a system we could use to operate on a manual site, integrate with our existing technology stacks, and more importantly, be capable of adapting to our growing business and integrating with any automation partners of our choice in the future. And having implemented Dematic WMS a number of times over the years in my career, a strong and trusted partnership was crucial for me.
Just to add to that, the key here is making sure you have a best of breed warehouse management solution firstly, and that means a lot of the functionality that comes out of the software is standard, and once you've implemented that standard, you need flexibility in the supplier to be able to then be agile enough to go where the customer wants to go. And that's what we've been able to do with Boohoo, that bring in a really strong, capable software, deliver it well, be able to run with it quickly, and therefore you get your investment return quickly. And then on top of that, then be flexible enough to be able to go where the customer wants you to go with that particular solution. To allow that to happen, you need a strong collaboration with the customer and our team. And if you have that together, that's the key to being able to deliver a successful project.
I agree too. You've obviously emphasized the importance of the strong partnership, and I'm really happy to hear that you have felt valued as a partner by Dematic. Can you share how Dematic stood out in this regard as compared to some of the other providers that you may have considered in your process?
Yeah, sure. The flexibility of a WMS solution to me is important when you get to determine the path a new site's going to take. So like I've said, we typically start off with manual sites, and then we look to automate as and when the volume dictates. So having flexibility in the WMS solution is really important to me. And there's a lot of WMS vendors offer effectively off-the-shelf products, which has the customers operating to the vendor's tune rather than how the customer wishes to operate the site. A number of WMS vendors are also tightly coupled with their own automation business units, which can restrict the customer's path when designing and selecting future automation for the site. So, we wanted a partner who would tailor the WMS from the outset to exactly how we wanted our site to operate, who listened to our needs, built a solution without the huge cost of customizations against an off-the-shelf product, and also knowing that the system could easily be adapted in the future to integrate with automation vendors of our choice, not our vendor's choice.
That's great. And again, we're thrilled that you felt valued and selected Dematic. We're very happy to be part of this partnership along with Boohoo. So So thank you. Could you share with us now a high-level overview of your implementation process and maybe talk about some of the strategies that you felt were really instrumental in ensuring your success and any challenges you might have encountered?
Yeah, we set a really tight deadline with our first involvement with Dematic. Mainly for our Daventry site, we set a really tight deadline of 9 months, which was to gather requirements, build, test, roll out, migrate the data from our legacy WMS to the Dematic WMS. It's not an easy request, especially when you factor in integration to and from our Boohoo systems and some legacy automation equipment, which happened to be in that site already. But Dematic accepted the challenge and off we went. So the way we made this happen was through constant collaboration, as Bashir's mentioned earlier, between Dematic, our Boohoo tech team and our Boohoo warehouse operation teams. It's imperative that the right people are always around the table to discuss matters at hand, decide best course of action, and complete the overall system complexity and design. Everything from that, it's everything from scanning a carton, at receiving, dock doors, through to all exception handling criteria that come up through every stage of the end-to-end operational process. And capturing all this and having all parties sign it off ensured minimal issues at go live. And I'm not going to sit here and say it was seamless, because of course there were teething issues at go live. It's just being a realist. But again, having all the same people involved from start to finish, working collaboratively on site, ensured minimal disruption to us.
I'd fully agree with that. The key here is our people, Dematic's people and Boohoo's people coming together, both from an operation perspective and from a technology perspective, coming together and creating a multifaceted team that understands what the standard operating procedures should be within the warehouse, and go through that in the detail that it deserves. And then coupled with that is the training. I would say if you have those two elements, the SOPs, the training, and then additionally in terms of the collaboration that you get between the different parties, that's a recipe for success for me. And the more we do that and more emphasis we play on that, actually the software in itself, it's there. It's how we implement it. So if people understand what the nuances are in terms of the functionality and the processes, you get to a better place very quickly. So that's the key, is that collaboration for me. And as long as you get that, and we had that with Boohoo, you get a successful project.
I think we all can agree that implementing new systems can be complex, but certainly the way to reduce the complexity is underscored here with this conversation, the value of collaborative, careful planning and strategy, and really making sure that both organizations are ready and willing to work together on that note. So switching topics just slightly, I want to delve a little deeper into the specifics of the Dematic WMS system that we've provided for Boohoo. Kieran, can you elaborate on the overall advantages of using Dematic WMS?
Yeah, I said it earlier, I think it was on the previous question, Dematic WMS is built to suit your operation, not the operation having to suit the WMS, which is, it's a godsend really. Dematic project teams have years of WMS experience behind them. When you couple that with people from your own company's operational and technical background, WMS can be shaped to how you need it to be, which is absolutely key and really important to me and our business.
All right, so we talked about some of the things that you really enjoyed about the Dematic WMS. What are some of the common frustrations that you are finding with other warehouse management systems, and how was Dematic WMS maybe able to tackle those issues or fill those gaps?
Yeah, and navigating around different screens in WMSs, it can always be an issue. Having to copy data to clipboards, so you can then copy paste this value into another search box and another screen. So frustrating. Navigating WMS and having key data displayed at the right time and place is something Dematic team and our project team spent a lot of time designing from the outset. This helps set the Dematic WMS apart from other WMSs, because you've got a system that's been designed for your business needs.
Yeah, just to add to that, I'd say there's 2 or 3 things that add value in terms of the user interface: the intuitiveness, the flexibility, and the configurability of the UI. And what that does is it creates an environment in which you can support the operation, not just from a software perspective, but in terms of actually doing the tasks they need to do to get through the orders that they have in play. So if you have a system which you don't need to think about, it just does what you expect it to do, similar to your phone nowadays, that just alleviates any challenges that you have in thinking about the activity that you're actually trying to achieve.
All right, so it certainly sounds like it could be a productivity booster. So let's dive into that a little bit more. Kieran, can you shed some light on how this has helped Boohoo specifically?
Yes, the amount of data, the way it's displayed in WMS and navigating around the information easily is key to running successful operations. And the Dematic WMS it's a really intuitive WMS in my eyes and our users' eyes. It allows you to simply click on key data values in the screen, drill down further into specific data, allowing quick, seamless navigation for the end user. And that's what it's all about. They want to get to the data quick, sharp. They don't want to be messing around, clicking here, copying this, moving on to another screen, thinking, is this what I'm after? You should just be able to, like, on phones, anywhere on the internet, you just click through on a page and you get to the information you want to get to.
Allowing multiple data sets to come into one view and be able to be informative in that particular area of focus. And our UI allows you to do that very well.
All right, so unfortunately we're nearing the end of our discussion, but I wanted to close out to see, Kieran, if you have any advice for other companies that are considering adopting a WMS and maybe why you think they should choose Dematic.
Yes, I'll repeat what I've said a couple of times earlier. Dematic WMS is built to suit your operation, not your operation having to suit the WMS. If you're prepared to commit the right mix of operational and technical resource throughout the discovery, development, testing, and migration phases, working collaboratively with Dematic, then you'll go on and form a great partnership capable of delivering a complete solution from day one and beyond, through your continuous change and whatever it is you want to do in the future outside of WMS. There's lots of other offerings that Dematic have. So having that base and having that collaboration and a strong, you see it as an extension of your own team. It's a great way of working the way forward.
So for me, there's, yes, of course, there's software, but actually it's people. People matter, both from our organization and from a customer's organization. And Boohoo's people have been fantastic to collaborate with, work with. So that's one element in terms of the people, right types of people who come together. The other is the skill set, the expertise that we bring and the customer brings. If you have the right level of skill sets in both companies, that's the other element which creates a strong base to move forward with. Then for me, it's that it's not just a relationship that creates some value for us or for the customer. It's more, for me, it's a multi-generational relationship that we get into with our customers. And I know with Kieran, I've had that relationship for over 20 years, and that's to do with the solutions that we provide, the pride we have, and how he and the people that he's worked for see our solutions. So that's where we come from, the understanding that we create solutions firstly, secondly the relationship with the customer and how that solution comes to the value of the customer. So it's creating both together that creates that value for me and for our customers. So that's where I'd like to end this, that it's around people firstly, and secondly solutions.
Yeah, and it's really important that you've got the relationship and you can bounce the ideas off each other, and therefore you shouldn't miss anything in what the end solution looks like, and that's really key to getting a successful project is always about collaboration.
I love it. Well, speaking of collaboration, Bashir, thank you for being here with me today. And thank you, Kieran, for all of your insights and your thoughtful discussion. We appreciate it. And we appreciate our partnership with Boohoo. So to recap, the key elements for a successful warehouse management system selection and implementation are people, processes, and software. And these elements must really work together collaboratively and in that order for the best results. To learn more about how Dematic WMS can help enhance supply chain operations and customer experience, please visit our website at dematic.com. Please connect with us via email or on LinkedIn if you have any questions or require further insight. And thank you again for your time and engagement today. We look forward to helping empower your WMS journey towards operational excellence.